Hey, what's up, Myrissa? A quick demo video for you for your pair of Ahsokas. Thank you for your patience on these. It's very rare that I take as long as I say I'm going to take, but I think I actually took my entire time on these, the entire time that I quoted you. So I appreciate you being very cool about it. Let's go over them, right? They are both installed with Proffie V2s. They both have CCSabers LEDs in them. This one's a little bit harder to see because it has plenty of blade depth since it's longer. But this guy was just an extreme cram fu job. So we'll go over this one first, actually, because I had to do one modification to this guy that I typically do, which is your blade retention. So your original blade retention goes right here, but I did not like how close that was to your pins, and it wouldn't hold a blade very well. So I came over on the other side and I moved that closer to the tip of the emitter so that you could get a blade down there and you can have as much bite as you possibly can right here. If you were to use the original hole, it gets a little bit wobbly, you know, depending on what size of blade that you use. So I just opted not to do that. But how you get to the board and the battery and everything, it's a static battery. So we just want to unscrew the pommel, static battery, the recharge port, just like that, and here's your board. This is the only saber that I actually do run one strip of heat tape across that board and across the chassis. It's the only saber that I install that I do this to, is this small guy right here. I just like to do that, make sure everything stays in place, the board stays where it needs to, and everything's good. But wired neatly, easy access to your micro USB. You can get to your SD card, but I put the sound fonts on there that you gave me, so you shouldn't have to move the board at all. There's a kill key in each of these right here, so you just pull that out. You hear that sound, and then we just want to screw this pommel back on. Each of these are 2-button setups. So what you've got is you've got one switch right here for your activation, and then 180 degrees, you've got another one. This is your auxiliary. So we're actually going to go back.
There are ways those who have passed on may still guide.
Smooth Jedi.
There are ways
There we go.
those who have passed on may still guide or influence the living.
So activation. Everything works like it should there. These actually have 22mm speakers in them. That's what they take. So you do have motion controls. And then auxiliary over here. Twist off. Just like that. Let me grab a blade real quick. Sorry. So these guys take a 1-inch diameter blade. Right here, I have a longer one, but it's not sanded down quite enough. This blade socket's super tight, so we'll just throw this blade in here. Test blade will show you everything you need to know that everything's working anyway. So you'll feel it bounce up and down on the pins. Just make sure all the pins are engaged, and then come over here and tighten up your blade retention screw. So you do have battle mode. So if you hit the blade or if you hit the saber while the blade is on, it just initiates blade lockup. It's a little harder to see on this silver blade that I gave you, but you can see it better on others. So if we went,
Hello, Master.
we got this nice blue blade, right? Now again, because this is a test blade, you don't see the blade lockup as well as you would a full-length blade. You're going to see it about right in the middle of the blade, and it will stay that way until you pull away from it. Just like that. And then twist off. And then we'll take the blade out. All of your sound fonts are on here. I think we went through 2. We can go through one more. Whoops. That's 1. Hang on.
Hello, Master. It's been a while.
That's 1. That's 2. That's
on,
3.
may still guide or influence the living.
So you got all 3 of your Ahsokas on here. We'll just pop the kill key in this guy when we're done, and then throw the pommel back on, and we'll move on over here to the Sheen. Right, it's the exact same setup, the exact same fonts in the same order. So it's your 3 Ahsoka fonts plus the stock font package. The only difference is, you know, this guy is significantly bigger. I don't know if you could see that, right? So again, so with these guys on the Greeblies, I put these on with some CA glue, and then some JB Weld in some places, right? Like these 2 bunny ears are on with some JB Weld because I didn't want them popping off and they could take a beating. When it came to the box, like the box top, excuse me, the pins, this piece right here and this piece right here, and then this piece, that's all CA glue, because that will hold fine, right? So we want to unscrew the pommel. I did take a little bit of glue also, and I glued down this black ring so that it wouldn't come off. So when you pull that, obviously the saber turns on. You've got your board right there. Easy access to your board or your SD card and your micro USB from here. You don't need to move the board at all, right? Sound venting on this guy, obviously it's not coming from the pommel. What it does is it comes from about the middle of both speakers, because this black core and this aluminum shell are 2 different pieces. In this black core, there are some sound venting holes that you don't see. So the sound venting actually comes from the middle, and then it comes out these 2 slits right here. Same ideas with your buttons. So activation is right here, and then auxiliary is over on the other side. And then this also takes a 1-inch blade. I left your original blade retention on this guy because the depth of the blade's just fine. Wrong Allen key. Okay, here we go. You do want to be careful with these blade retention screws because they are short and tiny. If they fall out of your saber, they could be very difficult to find.
Hello, Master. It's been a while.
And then to get to your soundtracks, just hold down your power for a second and then let go. And then do the same thing to turn them off. You just hold down your power for a second and then let go. And we'll go to the next one. Oh, if you want to go back, you hold the saber straight down and hit auxiliary.
Hello, Master. It's been a while. There are ways those who have passed on may still guide or influence the living.
We'll go one more.
Smooth Jedi.
Whoop.
Smooth.
There are ways those who have passed on may still guide or influence. Hello, Master.
That's your third one right here. So basically how I have the blades set up through your sound fonts, your first one will be blue, your second sound font has silver blades, and then your third sound font has a different style of blue. That's how I set it up, right? So we're going to take the blade out, and then I'm going to screw down this blade retention screw just a little bit so it doesn't fall out of the saber. And then we'll come over here from the pommel, and we'll just unscrew this again. And then put the kill key in, just like that, and you're good to go. Yeah, so those are your sabers. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, I will try to get these out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right, thanks.